Hello, everyone. Today I will be covering the film The Virgin Suicides, directed by Sofia Coppola and released in 1999. Although the film was released in 1999, the film takes place in 1975, and many describe the film to be a nostalgic 1970s piece, as the warm, soft lighting and the suburban setting give it a 70s feel. I wanted to cover three different uses of lighting and sound that stuck out to me the most after watching the film. This scene that I wanted to cover follows the boys look through Cecilia's diary. The lighting has a soft and warm orange feel, with much of the lighting illuminating from the lamp in the background and a barrage of it shining through the window. As the boys look through the diary trying to find something interesting, they come across Cecilia describing Lux's infatuation with the garbage man. The boys read the diary, and the voices fade into the voice of Cecilia reading what the boys are reading. This small sequence is a very notably edited sequence in the film. The sequence shows a montage of the Lisbon girls in a field, picking flowers, blowing dandelions, and dancing. The scene is lit in an extremely sharp orange in the background, the sun piercing itself through the trees. The foreground is a much more soft orange as we watch the girls play around in the field. The particular way in which it's edited and the combination of sharp and soft oranges gives the scene a very dreamlike feel. The boys begin to describe that they were beginning to indulge themselves in memories that they weren't even a part of, which is exactly what the scene is trying to achieve.
Coming to hold collective memories of times we hadn't experienced, we felt the imprisonment of being a girl.
The montage represents what the boys are thinking about as they read the diary, piecing pieces together as they read, and envisioning the innocence and the wanted freedom of the Lisbon girls. There's also a shot where chiaroscuro lighting is used showing Lux dancing in front of the close sun. The sun itself represents power and positivity, so it's clear that its presence across all the shots in this montage was a must for Sofia Coppola to include, because the words in this diary show the true feelings and personality of the girls, despite how isolated they are in real life. The next scene I wanted to cover was the moment when Cecilia jumps to her death. The scene continues the film's trend of soft orange suburban lighting. Suddenly, Cecilia's name is screamed, and we can see the mother look up quickly, and Lux gives a quick gasp. I think this moment utilizes silence as sound very well. Even if it's only for a brief moment, the lack of score or any notable sound lets the audience absorb the moment psychologically, as the audience is certainly aware of the event that just occurred. The mother glances outside, shocked by what she's seeing. She runs into the blue and darkly lit outside area where she sees Cecilia dead, pierced by the fence. The inside, which was warmly lit and surrounded by color, symbolizing moments of innocence and celebration, is a stark contrast to the lighting outside, which is a deep blue, showcasing the sun's shift into a traumatic event. Now, the Lisbon house has always had an orange, warm feel on the inside, even when the outside is a much deeper blue. But in this next scene, the scene where the boys discover that the remaining sisters had committed suicide, the house now shares that dark blue lighting. It's what seems like the one I just discussed involving Cecilia committing suicide, and the scene here where they discover one of the girls hanging, where it's clear that Coppola is using blue to symbolize tragedy and a loss of innocence. We're shown the boys driving with the sisters in the same soft yellowish look that we've seen earlier that symbolizes innocence and positivity. When it cuts back to the house, that shift in lighting makes the audience feel immediately uncomfortable and anxious. Also, another notable moment in using silence as sound as the boys wander around the house. Looking at the lighting and post-production choices from an everyday perspective, it's actually very interesting how many photos are taken daily and posted on social media that utilize the sun. Many people are drawn to taking photos of the sun because it creates a visually pleasing contrast. Lots of people also take pictures with the sun for symbolic meaning, as the sunrise can symbolize new light and potential for the new day, as well as peace and energy. It also just creates a nice, warm, visually pleasing aesthetic. In photography, yellow and blue have almost a completely opposite feel and meaning when used in a specific way, much like the way the colors are utilized in these last two examples. This is similar to how in actual photography, blue makes the scene feel less warm and more concentrated, with a much colder feeling overall. This was my analysis on The Virgin Suicides, directed by Sofia Coppola, released in 1999. Thank you for watching.